if currently right now you're going through the loss of your identity because you were pursuing a dream that you've coveted for so long and you've put so much effort and time into it, and with it not happening for you, maybe because of injury, loss of interest, loss of passion, circumstance changes, whatever it is, it's now left you in this vacuum of nothing. I know that feeling all too well. It was something I dealt with for a number of years before developing my Rule of Three method. It was a moment that I remember as if it was yesterday. Competing, wanting to be a world champion in jiu-jitsu, and waking up one day and not feeling that passion anymore after sacrificing everything for it. And then leaving me in this state of wandering the desert, as the saying goes. One thing that came to me during that time was that insane feeling of loss, the intensity of it, had a relation that you can draw all the way down to a place of an issue of worthiness, of self-worth. The reason for that is because if throughout your life growing up there was something that happened to you, perhaps you were bullied by your peers for a number of years, or perhaps that you were never good enough anytime you brought home a report card to show your parents or your guardian, whoever it was, and you were always somehow made to feel like what you are and what you're doing is not good enough. Healthy standards are important, but abusive standards are destructive. And if you're feeling that right now, this feeling of identity loss, see if there's a relation to a self-worth, an issue with it. You see, when we attach to a goal and we personify with that goal, we lose ourselves in it because for a moment that feels like a ticket out. That is our ticket to acceptance and love and abundance, and everything is going to be beautiful after this. Because perhaps where we are right now is miserable to us and we hate it. And so if one day that vision doesn't work out, you feel as if a part of you has died. Your identity has died. But I'm here to tell you that it hasn't. It has not died. And by understanding that your attachment to the goal and to your vision is not a reflection of who you are. Who you are is the integrated ego and soul. The inner child that always is there, perhaps in large amounts, maybe in small amounts, oftentimes to heal ourselves from pain and particular traumas. We store that inner child away, dormant, to protect whatever is left in fear that if we expose it, it dies. It gets hurt and it dies. But I'm here to tell you that it is through the exposure, working to bring the soul to the foreground, cleaning up what is going on internally. What are the complexities that we are dealing with? Bringing light to them. And by bringing light to them, it'll start to relate and cross and connect with the ego of how you perceive and see things. It is a filter. Whatever is happening below the surface shapes and therefore brings it upward to where then we see it. We see it as the world. The reality is not to completely change and convince yourself that it's different. Because then you're lying. You're lying to yourself, and you know that will catch up to you. And it's caught up to me when I tried to do that in the past. There is nothing more cathartic than the honest, blunt truth of reflecting inward into your shadow, understanding what it is that caused this pain to begin with. It is natural to feel pain from loss of a dream. It's very natural. But if there is a loss of identity, and that's a whole other thing. A simple practice you can do if you're in the midst of this right now is allow yourself to grieve the dream. Allow it to go through. Feel sad about it. Think about its memory to you. And it's okay to do that. You don't want to ruminate, but there's a healthy amount of flow of energy that you have to let go through. And then as you're doing that, I want you to practice an art of being a nobody for just a small period of time. And what I mean by that is abandon the expectations for just a moment. Let go of everything that has been telling you have to be X, Y, and Z. Release it. Let go of it just for a moment. And just simply exist and reconnect with the self, that inner child. And simple ways you can connect with it is through art expression. When you think back to when you were a child, what was the expression you enjoyed? Was it through art? Art, the artistic creative realm of art and dance and music. Was it play? Was it just playing chaotically and just having fun, arbitrary rules and just have at it, do whatever you want to do, which was kind of my thing. I had a huge fun expression with toys. I was an only child, so I had to be very imaginative with my free time and alone time. So I created a whole world around it with my action figures. You can do it through destruction. Maybe you like to build up sandcastles and destroy them. That is okay to do that. It's fine. There's a lot of businesses now that actually provide you an environment where you can go in and smash everyday appliances, which is very cathartic. Very, very cathartic. There's many ways you can do it. You can also do it through absurdity, being goofy, being silly, and letting whatever wants to bubble up to the surface and just let it express. It could be one of those things, it could be two of those things. Reconnect with it. Allow yourself to express. Because in reality, what you don't want to do is try to, the advice of wanting to be a child again, you don't really want to be a child again. Because there's downsides to that. There's no real sense of wholeness. You're in the present moment, but life, as you go on, grants you experience in time and tragedy and pain. You can't just go back in that. What you're trying to do is bring that forward with you into the adult world that you live in now. And therefore, with the integration of the ego and soul, you will have much more clarity in terms of what you want to do and where you want to go this time around. Once I went through that period of my life of identity loss, there was a moment where I had to find a way out of it. Couldn't find anything in particular that I wanted help with that kind of catered to this issue. And so I had to kind of study and do a lot of research and build my own method, build my own Rule of Three method that I've done for myself and now I coach clients with. And it was in that transition period that eventually I said, I know what I have to do. As I started to integrate, even slight integration will give you such insight and such direction and energy to where you have to go. And it will come to you. It will come to you. You have to allow it to flow. And so again, as a reminder, you are not your goals. They are accessories to your being. There are ways for you to express, but if stripped away, it's natural to feel pain. But you should always be aligned and understand that it is your expression of the soul and the expression of your ego in harmony that is of the utmost importance. No amount of success, no amount of money is worth the destruction of the soul and the inflation of the ego. It is never worth it. Maybe temporarily. Maybe it'll feel good in a hedonistic way, but not in the pure divine way. And I don't mean that from just a biblical reference. And so if you're needing a little more guidance with this, and you want me to just send you information on my Rule of Three method, you can go ahead and click that link below. It'll send you over to my website, and then you can go ahead and fill in the information and then join the community where I send out my currently monthly newsletters on my Rule of Three method to help you guys out, help smooth things over for you. It was a community that I wish I had during that time, and so I'm so passionate and driven by this that I'm so excited to share with you. And I really do hope you join if this resonates with you.